and welcome to the episode 3 of the Property Show series. Our panel discussion today is collaboration in property management strategies. So I'm Kelley Seaton, who's the director of the Leasing Network, and I'll be your host for the panel session today. We're coming to you from the Red Tree Theatre in Tuggerah on the Central Coast. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the land of our First Nations people, and we appreciate this and respect them and their elders past, present and emerging. The Leasing Network will be producing a number of episodes on various topics related to property, so keep an eye out for all of the episodes. Today, though, we are discussing the importance of collaboration in setting up your property strategies. We have a lineup of excellent expert panellists who are collaborating with to bring you the information about the issues and rewards of collaborating in property management. So welcome to the show. We have Anthony Booth, who is the BDM, the National BDM for MCG Quantity Surveyors. And we have Madeleine Smith, who is the BDM for Pica Group. And we have Michael Olivieri, who is the Director of Central Coast Buyers Agent. So thank you and welcome.
Thanks, Kelley.
All four of us will be having a conversation today based around the questions that I ask. And before I ask the first question, I'd like to acknowledge that our sponsors and say thank you for those that you see on the screen. I'm going to ask Anthony the first series of questions. So Anthony, as the National Business Development Manager for MCG Quantity Surveyors, let's have a little talk about tax depreciation. So what is tax depreciation?
Thanks, Kelley. Tax depreciation is an extra deduction that property investors can claim at tax time. It's the second largest deduction after the interest on their loan, and it applies to the wear and tear on the building itself, so the four walls, the roof and the floor, plus also the bits and pieces within it that get older, they lose value, like things like carpets, blinds, kitchen appliances, hot water systems, those sorts of things as well.
Okay. And what are the benefits of having a tax depreciation report?
Yeah, look, the main benefits are for an investor simply to pay less tax. Okay, that's the whole reason why it exists. And in terms of the report, it will show both the client and their accountant exactly how much of a deduction they're entitled to over a 40-year period.
Okay, excellent. There's some changes in legislation in 2017. Can you tell me what the impacts for investors are from those changes?
Yeah, sure. So from the 9th of May 2017, any property that was purchased second-hand, so it's either been lived in previously or it was an established home, basically the changes impacted people that bought those properties, and it took away the ability for them to claim on carpets, blinds, kitchen appliances, all those sorts of things within the property itself. However, if the building qualified for building depreciation, so it was built after September 16, 1987, you're entitled to 2.5% each year over 40 years of the original building construction costs. And if there's been any renovations of sorts, so kitchens, bathroom updates, extensions, pools, those sorts of things, the second-hand purchaser is still entitled to claim on those, just not the fixtures and fittings that were there when they bought the home.
Okay, great, excellent. Why would somebody engage a quantity surveyor and perhaps not an accountant?
Yeah, well, the ATO states in their legislation that accountants aren't qualified to be estimating construction costs and depreciable values. So as a quantity surveyor, we are a construction cost expert, and part of that is estimating the original build price for an investment, also placing values on those assets such as carpets, blinds, kitchen appliances, those sorts of things. So yeah, we're relied upon by the ATO to provide an accurate cost in that scenario and provide the report to the accountant to be able to claim those figures every 12 months moving forward.
Okay, excellent. And how much would a tax depreciation report cost?
Yeah, so typically they're between $600 to $800. They're a once-off cost. It's also 100% tax deductible as well. Clients of MCG, typically through the Leasing Network, we offer a discounted rate of $600 plus GST, and it covers the once-off report, a full site inspection, and also any additional searches required by us to complete it for the client.
Okay, excellent. We love when our clients have the quantity survey report. Obviously, our job with them is to obviously show them how they can make money or save money as well. So it's really important for us to make sure that they do have that report. How would our clients organise one?
Yeah, they can quite simply contact us at MCG. They can organise it through you as well. We have a partner link set up that you can distribute, but all they've got to do is mention that they heard about us through the lovely people at the Leasing Network, and we'll look after them from there.
Excellent. That's probably all the questions I have for you.
Cool.
Thank you. So that's all about the tax depreciation side of things. We do strongly recommend that our clients do have tax depreciation reports completed, which is very, very important about saving money as well. So now my next question is for Madeleine. So Madeleine is the BDM for the Pica group in like the Central Coast, Northern New South Wales.
That's my space, yeah.
All right.
And Pica group are Strata and building management
Excellent.
experts.
Okay. And so tell me what you do there.
So I work with new clients who are looking for new strata managers or building managers to look after their strata scheme or association.
Mm-hmm. So Madeleine, can you tell me what the strata manager's role is?
Absolutely, Kel. So the role of a strata manager, if delegated by the owner corporation as the professional advisor, is to carry out the decisions that the owners corporation make. So the committee are elected on behalf of the owners corporation, which are all the other owners in the complex. And they'll work very closely with the strata manager, but ultimately the strata manager will actually perform those duties on their behalf.
Okay, excellent. Who prepares the budget for a strata?
So the strata manager will consult with the committee to prepare an annual budget, and then at the AGM, all of the other owners will have the opportunity to vote on that budget and ultimately set the levies for what they'll be paying for the next 12 months.
Okay.
So every year that gets reset.
Excellent. Clients often ask me about strata meetings and the AGMs and so on, and I think it's important for them to go. So do you think it's
Absolutely.
important?
So based on what I just said,
Yeah.
the annual budget is approved at the annual general meeting or the AGM every year. So if they go to that meeting, then as an owner, they actually get a vote based on their unit entitlements to approve, question, make decisions that need to run the scheme every year. So when that budget is adopted, that's what sets the levies. So if they don't go to the meetings, then they often don't know what's going on. And I understand why, because the communications that come out, they're very wordy, very heavy, it can be a little bit overwhelming, but the annual general meetings or the general meetings throughout the year are the perfect opportunity to go and ask those questions and get some answers and understand where your money's going and what's going on within your strata scheme.
Okay, excellent. And I know this from the property management point of view, is that you send out a meeting notice and there'll be certain motions on there that are going to be discussed and talked about.
Yep.
So by them going to that meeting, they can have their say yes or no if they're voting for or against.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. I think having a strata management company is very, very important. Even if it's a small complex, it's still as important as a large complex.
Absolutely. And although we don't make decisions, based on our experience and knowledge, we can give guidance so that the owners corporation or the committee can make the best decisions.
Okay. Excellent. Definitely a very valuable part of having a property that is a unit townhouse or...
Yeah, unit townhouse.
Yep.
It could even be a freestanding home within an estate.
Okay. Excellent. I didn't know that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to Michael. So Michael Olivieri is Central Coast Buyers Agent Director. And Michael, tell us a little bit about what a buyer's agent does.
A buyer's agent helps people purchase property, whether it be for a home to live in or as an investment property. So we handle everything from preparing the brief with the client and then shortlisting and researching properties both on and off market, and then undertake the due diligence and the inspections of the property. Once we've selected the right property for the client that fits their brief, we then handle all agent communications and negotiate for the best deal for the client. And then we see that through till settlement, undertake a pre-settlement inspection, and that's it. So basically an end-to-end service for the purchase. We work with the mortgage broker and conveyancer as well of the client.
Okay, excellent. What areas do you specifically cover?
I cover the Central Coast. That's my specialist area, and I'll also cover Lake Macquarie and the Hunter region if the client brief takes me there. Okay,
yep, excellent. How and when, as a buyer's agent, do you get paid?
I'm paid by the client.
Okay.
So I represent the buyer. So the buyer pays me on unconditional exchange.
So, Michael, what are the benefits of a buyer's agent?
So the benefits of using a buyer's agent to, first of all, save time. Clients don't have to drive to open homes every weekend and spend their week on the phone with real estate agents. Another benefit is we get access to all property that's available, not just on the market on realestate.com and domain.com, but off market as well. Because we're in the field talking with agents every day, we get to find out about properties that are coming up before they're actually on the market and inspect those properties. Another benefit is engaging an expert to handle the process for you. So we do this every single day, talking with agents and inspecting properties. So we're able to quantify the value of a property much quicker and understand what offer we need to make in order to secure that property so that clients aren't missing out on properties, which we saw a lot of last year.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We are going to throw out now a fun fact. So let's all have a fun fact. So Anthony, what would be a fun fact about quantity surveyors?
Fun fact about quantity surveying. Well, there probably isn't too many fun facts about quantity surveying. It's actually quite a boring topic and profession as such. But in terms of, from an investor's perspective, missed deductions is probably one of the key ones. So if you leave it too long, there is a cut-off that you cannot go back and claim past 2 years. So if you've owned a property for 5 years, it's been rented the whole time, you can only go back and amend for the previous 2 financial years in missed deductions. Research or data that we've got shows that if you do leave it too long, the average you miss out on is $20,500 in deductions. Now, if you're paying tax at 32.5%, which most investors are, that's over $6,500 back in your pocket you've missed out on in terms of depreciation. So it's something to think about and make sure that you organise it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money that you're missing out on.
Yeah, exactly right. So, but some other data we've got is $2.88 billion of missed deductions are sitting out there at the moment.
Wow.
Across the country.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah, it's like I said, not the world's sexiest topic, but pretty important if you want money back in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Fun fact, Mad.
Fun fact about Strata. Strata management or?
I think as a whole, what's a fun fact that you...
So interestingly,
Yes.
coming up to end of financial, a Strata plan's end of financial year is not the 30th of June.
Wow.
It's also not calendar year. And so it's 12 months typically from when registration of the plan occurred. So if it was built in January, if the scheme registered in February, and that first budget year was from February for 12 months, then the end of financial year would be February the following year.
Wow, that is a fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yeah, excellent. Michael, fun fact?
Fun fact for me would be, I suppose, the misconception that a lot of people think a buyer's agent is for high net wealth individuals or sort of the high end of town. But a lot of my clients that I work with are purchasing properties sub $1 million. So it's not just for the big end of town, and I work with people that are looking to buy their home as well, not necessarily investment.
Okay, excellent. All right, so that is pretty much the reasons why we at the Leasing Network align ourselves with companies like what we have here today, because we're the expert in what we do, but we're not the expert in what these guys do. And so to be able to align ourselves with them and they can bring their knowledge and experience to our clients, that's really important for us. All three of you, thank you for your time. I do want to ask you another question before we wrap up. And so lastly, I'd like to ask you all for one word as we wrap up. So actions on things that we spoke about today. So there's one word that viewers can perhaps take away from the show to better collaborate when working in their property strategies. So Anthony, have you got one word?
Yeah, one word I would use, Kelley, is advice. So yeah, make sure you're talking to the right people, whether it's people like Michael as a buyer's agent, you as a PM. If you're buying into a strata complex, talk to people like Maddie, and then obviously if you want to pay less tax, talk to me. So yeah, it's imperative that you get that right advice from the start and follow it through.
Yep, excellent. Thank you. Madeleine?
One word would be research. You don't know what you don't know. Do your research. I guess similarly, ask the people that are the experts.
Yep, excellent. Thank you. And Michael?
My word's trust. I think it's important to engage the right people like yourselves and trust that they have your best interests at heart. So for me, that's the word.
Excellent. Yeah, it is a common theme, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think, definitely you can see that through everything that we do. Yeah. Okay, great. Excellent. So thank you so much for your insights and contribution to support the viewers have a better understanding on how to invest in property and how to collaborate with our services. There's plenty of actions that anyone can use to support their own investment journeys. So thanks again to all our sponsors. We appreciate the sponsors and the support from our panel insights today. Remember, you can watch us through YouTube and on other social media. Ask any questions of the panel. They'll be available to respond. They don't know that yet, but we'll just put that out there. By all means, share it with anybody that you think the show might support. I hope that you'll watch again, because we're bringing more topics to the discussion, such as finding the right property manager and short-term versus long-term rentals, risks and rewards. They're shows that are coming up soon as well. So thanks again to our experts. We've got Anthony Booth from MCG Quantity Surveyors, Madeleine Smith from Pica Group, and we have Michael Olivieri from Central Coast Buyers Agents. So thank you.
Thank you, Kelley.
And thank you for watching. I'm Kelley Seaton, the Director of the Leasing Network.